You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.
Guys, last week we talked about our session. I'm calling these wonderful sessions because that's what they feel like. Of our 25 motivational tips to Supercharge 2024. And our last segment, which is Enjoy the Little Things, we touched on that and talked about just how you can really maximize gratitude. And this week, we're just going to keep the momentum going. And I feel like we're making some wonderful waves in our personal development and transformational space. And so this next segment, our 9th tip, is going to allow us to now kind of take a look at where we've established and accomplished some things. So we're going to take note of our accomplishments. This is the 9th tip. Take a note. And why that's so important is because a lot of times we'll be so busy doing the work. We'll be so busy in our ambitions and our goals and the things that we're focused on achieving and getting to the next step that sometimes we forget to take inventory of what we've already been able to trail ahead and look, kind of look behind to see what we've accomplished and if we're staying on path. And sometimes you may not be staying on path, but it's good to see the things that you have completed. And so I think it's just as important as you look, in front of you, you also need to take note of what you've been able to do behind you and as you're progressing. And I think it does something magical that allows you to stay in tune with your mission. And if you're not where you felt like you should be at certain points, I think that it can help you to recalibrate and make sure that you're not missing the bar that you set for yourself. So with anything that we're talking about, these are all just some things that are coming from my perspective to share with you. And I hope that we are ready to gear up for another session because, guys, you know what time it is. It's Monday and it's time for Sonny's Money Motivation. Let's go. Welcome to Loudmouth Radio Network. My name is Sonny. As a former professional athlete turned entrepreneur realtor and the producer of Loudmouth Radio Network, I look forward to bringing content to you that empowers, inspires, and entertains you. Tune in each week as we have unscripted and unfiltered talks from entrepreneurship, real estate, politics, entertainment, comedy, LGBTQ topics, day-to-day life, and everything in between. All shows available on demand 24/7 on your favorite podcast platforms.
Diamond Valley Lodge, the one-of-a-kind, unique, exotic dining experience for the whole family. Have dinner with real tigers at Diamond Valley Lodge's 100% safe, unique dinner party experience. Ever dine just feet away from a majestic Bengal tiger? Now you can. A magical evening under the stars with open-air seating in an exotic Zen garden, just feet away from some of the most majestic creatures on the planet. All crown jewels of nature. Dinners are served on Friday and Saturday, brunch on Sunday. Reservation only by calling 855-9-TIGERS or 951-390-2670 or visit diamondvalleylodge.com.
San Jacinto, Temecula Valley areas, and throughout the Inland Empire. Are you looking to become a homeowner in 2024? Register today for the New Home in the New Year seminar hosted by Sold by Sonny. Let's get you from rental to homeowner in the new year. Get the latest insight of down payment assistance programs, whether you purchased a home before or purchasing for the first time. We want to make sure you're provided with the necessary information needed for you to buy your new home in 2024. Look forward to seeing you there.
Hi, I'm Hector Calvillo of J&H Automotive, located at 611 West Florida Avenue in Hemet, California. We are a full-service automotive repair shop where you can always expect to receive the highest quality repairs, fairest pricing, best customer service in the industry. My brother George and I grew up watching our dad work on classic cars as a backyard mechanic. His hard work ethic and dedication led us to opening up J&H Automotive in 2009. We started out with a 500 square foot repair shop, and we have consistently grown over the past 15 years to our new 10,000 square foot repair facility in the heart of Hemet. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Call 951-766-5999 to set an appointment for all your automotive service needs.
So one of the things that I have had to do for a long time is exactly what I'm going to tell you in this session. Take note of your accomplishments, because it is so easy not to acknowledge the fact that you are gaining momentum or that you have accomplished some things, because you're on to the next thing. And it's easy to get caught on the next thing and forget what you've done in the past if you don't take the time to remember that, or to simmer on it. So one of the things that I think is a good starting point is to do an overview of your last 30 days. And this spans across anything and everything you got going on: personal, business, social, and how you've completed in any of those areas. And this can be very minimal. It could just be one or two things. It doesn't have to be an elaborate list of things, because let's be honest, we're doing a lot in our lives and we have compartmented aspects of ourselves. And so because we're so compartmented, you may only have room for one thing or two things. If you're doing beyond that, hey, I'm commending you, I'm patting you on your back. That's incredible. Stay at the pace in which it allows you to stay going and not burn yourself out or run yourself raggedy. But to be able to say, okay, I at least did one or two things that were a major thing for me to get done over the last 30 days. Not just pressing things, not things that you normally would do, but these special indicators that you are working toward goal-oriented tasks for something bigger, right? And then, in that time period, you'll be able, because it's so new from a sense, it will allow you to be able to really think about what it took for you to get it done, especially if it's within a 30-day time period. And a lot of times the idea that you have something of a reference point like that, it helps you to move on to the next, time period ahead of you. So you may have a bigger part of the next step that requires a lot more of you. And so I just find this way, it's almost like digging deep and being able to have a lifeline to put a mask on, take another deep breath, and go and swim back down in the deep part of the ocean, right? So as you're taking inventory of that, you want to kind of keep that same task again within a 6-month time period. Same thing, personal, business, social, wherever those areas are. Hopefully you may have gained 2 to 4 aspects of completion. Maybe you got 2 or 3 or 4 things done in that 6-month period of time. And if you haven't, take the time to figure out, okay, what was happening in the midst of it that I was not able to, right? What could I do better that will allow me to get ahead or to stay on task? And if you're not finding yourself reaching that, what is the obstacles, or what are the things that is happening that is causing your delay or causing your, I hate to say the word, but it's real, procrastination. Are we acknowledging the fact that maybe we're not showing up and completing our own things and being our best self? Because a lot of times we might put pressure on other people to step up for ourselves, but what are we doing for ourselves? What are we allowing ourselves to be and do that will give us the aspect of what we need to get on the deliverable of what we're trying to gain? So if we're not putting ourselves first, how can you expect anybody else? You can't expect people to give what you're not willing to give to yourself. And I say this wholeheartedly when it comes to your personal life, when it comes to your business life, when it comes to your social scenes, your interpersonal relationships, your business relationships, your social relationships. All of them will be affected if your expectations of others is higher than what you're able to give to yourself. And that is lopsided. One of the biggest things to my entrepreneurs if you're not investing in yourself in time or resources, education, whatever it takes in order for you to advance yourself, you cannot expect the client, customer, or end user to do the same. If you're not clear and unclouded of what your direction is, or if you're not clear and unclouded about what your message is, and I'm not saying that your message has to stay one way and it doesn't change or it doesn't transform. It does. It can. I'll say this because I know for me, mine does. It does transform. I've been in the midst of a transformation for the last 5 or 6 years with my brand. So I understand how sometimes you may have a moment where you're maybe not clear. But in those times when you're not clear, make sure you're harnessing the right energy outwardly. And I'm saying this because I've had to check myself where I've had moments of frustration and expectations. And honestly, I had to really recognize that my frustrations and things of themselves really have nothing to do with some of the other counterparts, but more about myself, because I was feeling the lack of direction, or I was feeling the lack of enthusiasm, or I was feeling burned out, or I was feeling conflicted, or there was something that maybe I wasn't doing that I know I wanted to honor myself more and I wasn't doing it. Guys, these are real things that are okay to acknowledge and to and to speak on, because they do exist. Nobody here is far away from these types of realities. I don't care if you're making $1,000 a year, or if you're making $1,000 a minute in your business or your personal job or whatever. You're going to find your happy place based upon you paying attention to you. So these are the reasons why we have to take note of our accomplishments. Just as much as we're dealing with our own setbacks, deficits, and trials, tribulations, challenges, we also have to give time to the accomplishments, because they're just as equally as important to help us stay going. Now, the other thing is, if you've done the 30-day checkpoint, you've done the 6-month checkpoint, you already know. You already understand what the next one is going to be, the 12 months. So over a year, the same areas I mentioned on the last 2 tips of this, you want to take inventory of how you've progressed. What things that you feel and experience that may have made some hardships or didn't allow you to complete some things, right? And most importantly, paying attention to the things that were completed and fully checked off and reverent, right? You have to establish the priorities of what is important to you. And I think that this is how it changes the game. It gives you some measuring tool of how you're showing up for yourself, how you're showing up for yourself in your life. And, for those who are introverted, I'm sure this is a big part of the aspect where you may hear me and say, I really only have myself to depend on, and I'm not really easily accessible to others in the same way that most other people may be on a more sociable aspect or a more comfortable aspect. So you might tend to look at yourself harder than what most people are, but that doesn't exclude you either. You still want to do these steps and do these things. But I do encourage you to find someone that can be that accountability partner along the way, that you can trust, that will be unbiased, that will give you real feedback, that will also celebrate you on your, on the things that you are getting ahead with, that will encourage you when the times are harder. And this may not be a friend. This may not be a family member. You may have to, go out, get into some circles or social media, maybe somebody virtual that you connect to. And, find some way or another to have that kind of ground. And it can serve you in so many ways. So one of the things that, for me, I think that has been a long-standing thing is that I've always done this yearly check-in of my last year's aspects and the things that I've done. And, for me, last year was just, the year went by so fast in so many ways. I remember at one point it felt like it was kind of dragging along. And then I felt like I wasn't even able to keep up with the days as they were rolling. I had some physical challenges. I had to deal with some medical things that were unexpected, and they put me in a different place. And I could have sat back, felt sorry for the situation if I wanted to, but instead I had to empower myself in other ways. And so I think, guys, we learn to we learn to pivot. We learn how to balance ourselves in the sense of obstacles, and you learn to acknowledge the fact that it's okay when you're not able to show up 100% at moments and times, and it's okay. In those times and moments, maybe it's time for you to rest or step away from the things that may have made you feel like you're being pulled and you're not gaining what you want out of it. It's okay. And you'll find yourself to be a lot sharper when you take those times to rest. And I mean, not necessarily sleeping, but your brain, your heart energy, your task energy. Just, sometimes people are busy trying to be busy, and you don't even realize you're not allowing yourself to have a reset. So, one of the things that I think of the last few episodes is that I've been really, really enjoying keeping these very concise and within a 10 to 12 minute range. And I'm right at that point right now, because I really have said the fullness of what I feel that this particular tip needed to give. And so I'm encouraging you guys to if you haven't listened to the last 8 prior to this episode of this segment, please do. And let's align our strategies of how we're getting ahead and getting things done. And I pray that you guys are having a wonderful Monday, and just let this kick off your week to a strong week. And I look forward to talking to you guys and hearing from you soon. Later.
Hi, this is Cindy Lemke from the Hemet San Jacinto Valley Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here to invite you to learn more about the Chamber. We have networks ongoing, so you can join us at a breakfast at J&M Restaurant at 9 a.m. every Wednesday. Breakfast is on you, networking is on us. And then we have Women in Business, we have the Multicultural Network, and we have the Valley Nonprofit Network. And then we also have our monthly mixer. Any one of those things, you can be my guest. Give me a call at the office for more information, or just tell me you're coming, 951-658-3211, or you can check us out on the website, hsjvc.com. That's like Hemet San Jacinto Valley Chamber.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day, and don't forget to join the Chamber and help your business grow.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.